Hello everyone, good evening. Today we want to share our well wishes for the 5 victims here in Southern California. Yesterday, when we got back to the LA area, there was a wind was blowing up to 80 miles per hour, and it got worse to 100 miles per hour. I didn't think much of it. But then in the news tonight, there is some serious fires right now. And in the Palisades, there's a Palisades fire, about 16,000 acres of land that has been burned. In the Eaton fire area, and then there's Hollywood Hills area, 20 acres and so forth. That area is moving to, the fires is moving towards a densely populated area, Hollywood. So lots of structures have been burned, like over 1,000 structures. A lot of people are homeless right now. They're staying at hotels and friends and so forth. Luckily for most people, they have relatives here. So we feel for them and we send them our best wishes. And there's so much suffering here. These areas are very well-to-do areas, and to see your homes go up in flames and lose everything that's precious to you, that's meaningful to you, like that must be a lot of suffering. So we like to share our well wishes for these people. And I've asked the Dragon King to be compassionate and maybe make the wind die down as quickly as possible. I know they have the reasons for doing this, and I respect that. But I respectfully request that they relent and make a special case here and go blow somewhere else. Okay? So again, our well wishes for everyone, and be safe. All right. Tonight, we also will continue to study Master Hsuan Hua's Chan instructions. It's a real pleasure to be able to do it with you, as usual. Want you to also know that what we're doing is spiritual development, meaning that this is something that's neglected in ordinary people. Ordinary people know how to develop their minds, their emotions, but they really don't know how to develop their mental and spiritual health. And so this is where Buddhism really, really shines. Your happiness, the basis of your happiness is your spiritual. And this is why, unless the world pays attention to the spiritual development, spiritual growth, this world will continue to suffer more and more. We're on slide 15 here, and Master Hsuan Hua happened to be talking about this similar kind of topic. Take it away.
这就会人好我也好，世界上没有一个不好的。你说这个世界是不是就平安无事了呢？
This way, others are good and I'm also good. In this world, there is no individual that is not good. Wouldn't you say this world would be safe and free of trouble?
世界平安无事了，那就没有麻烦。
If the world becomes peaceful and free of trouble, then there will be no problems.
没有麻烦就变成极乐世界。
If there are no troubles, then it becomes the Western Bliss Pure Land.
你到什么地方去找极乐世界？
Where do you go to find the Western Bliss Pure Land?
Okay, let's stop here. He's moving in the Western Bliss Pure Land. So, slide 15, it says that 16 or 15? Okay, 15. He says here, if everyone is good, then there's no individual that's not good. Then the world would be free and of trouble and be safe for everyone. I don't think that's possible in a Saha world, because the Saha world was created by Shakyamuni Buddha to have this mixture of good people and bad people. I don't think Master YongHua is in any position to change that. Fundamentally, structurally speaking, the Saha world where we live, you will always run into evil people wherever you go. Within the Sangha, within your communities, within Catholicism, within Judaism. I notice that Judaism now is going to Africa. It's kind of interesting to me that they have some pockets of Judaism communities in Africa, but they cannot eat kosher. They have to import kosher stuff from America. So maybe President Trump might think of doing business with Africa, huh? Instead of invading them, thinking of invading them. I feel that going back to this theme again, I maybe this sounds good, and Master YongHua has his own reasons, but I'm a plain speaker. I don't feel it's possible to be free from evil people. Okay? Wherever it is, I stress again, if you look closely enough, there's always evil people around. Okay? And to me, it's a very good thing. When you see people, you should not get afflicted. You should motivate yourself and say, if these evil people are doing evil things, how can I help? Okay? This fire we just talked about earlier is karmic retributions. You don't want to rub it into people, but there is some evil forces behind it. And some very strong winds. And then coupled with dry brushes, dry vegetation, because it has hardly rained in Southern California for the past few years. So everything is very dry. So all you need is one spark, and the wind blows. Okay? And that's what really happened the last 24 hours that caused so much devastation. And the forces behind this is pretty evil. There's nothing good about destruction. When you intentionally try to destroy someone, there's nothing good about it. Especially when you have no wisdom whatsoever. So stop it. Okay? It's not, again, I feel that this sounds good for a politician, for a Dharma master, but I'm a pragmatist. I feel that we need to be realistic and face the facts. So what do we do about this? If there's always evil people around who's trying to hurt someone or trying to cause problems, if there's a fire, then first thing we can do is maybe you can pool your resources and make the wind die down. Because the wind is what really fans the fire. And if you even better than that, you can make it rain and increase the moisture. Okay? Because of the evil forces are there should be competing rival forces of good. That's available. So this is where it matters that we can make a difference. You can make a difference by being a force of good in the face of evil. Don't be afraid of evil. Do not try to distinguish evil. That's not possible. Not in the Saha world. Okay? So I'd rather not hide my head in the sand, under the rug, and not look at the evil thing, hope that there's no evil in the world. It's not possible here in the Saha world. Grow up, face your realities, and instead of moaning and complaining about how bad the world is, why don't you become a force of good? Okay? Why don't you become gooder? And why don't you develop your skills so that you can make a difference? If the evil forces are stronger, we should become stronger, and even stronger than them. Okay? That's my attitude. I don't sit here and wish that the world is free from evil people. Okay? I look at evil people in the eyes. It doesn't bother me. I know who they are. I know what they do. It doesn't bother me because I use them to train my people. That's the same thing I just talked to you about. When evil hurt you and harm you, that could be used to motivate you to make yourself no longer vulnerable to evil forces. You cannot become a Buddha without a demon. Buddha could not have become himself until he overcame the demon's attacks. It's right there in the history of Buddhism. Okay? This is why I differ from Master YongHua. Next, if the world becomes free of trouble, then there will be no problems. This is a world of problems. It's not possible. Okay? I think this is wishful thinking. This is a politician, a salesman. We have to be practical. Okay? This how world has plenty of good people and even more evil people. Okay? It's a Dharma ending age. People are doing a lot more harmful things to others than people who are doing good things for others. It's just a fact. But you know what? That group of people who, in the face of evil, in the face of suffering, brings forth the mind of compassion, the mind of forgiveness, the mind of kindness, they will be the counterbalancing forces against the evil. So if there are more evil people, there are more evil things, even though the good or do-gooders are smaller in numbers, then in order to equalize it, we need to be stronger than they are, that's all. This is my outlook. I'm not afraid of evil. I'm not afraid of all the bad things happening because I use it to motivate you to become stronger. It's a wake-up call for us. We need to do something in our lives to make a difference and stop hiding our heads into the sand, hide behind the four walls of the temple and say, this does not concern me. How does it not concern me if we're lucky so far if there's a fire 2 blocks away from here in this populated area? So you only do something because you're affected and you don't care about what happens to others? Then what kind of Dharma masters, what kind of monks and nuns are you? You're the Hinayana mindset. You only think of yourself. What's beneficial for you, what's not beneficial for you. If it's not what you want, then you destroy it, you ignore it, then you are not a real son of the Buddha. This is why I choose to be here in the big cities, in the small cities, because I can access more people. Yes, in the future, we have a place in the mountains, in the valleys, away, on the islands maybe. Bahama Islands, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, never mind. Okay. We will have those places, but the emphasis is these places where in the metropolises, where we can reach more people, where people really, really need guidance and direction, instead of thus making it more accessible, us making ourselves more accessible to help others, so that when others have a problem, it could be as simple as coming to the temple for half an hour and meditate and re-energize, recharge yourself. No one will bother you. And so forth. All right? There'll be no problems. I want problems, folks. This is a Saha world. There's no such thing as a Saha world free of troubles. And he's moving to, I think he's only saying this to introduce the concept of Western Bliss Pure Land. I don't think he really believes it, because I know he doesn't. Okay? With no troubles, then becomes a Western Bliss Pure Land. Western Bliss Pure Land is no suffering whatsoever. He's advertising for the Western Bliss Pure Land by stating something that I call wishful thinking, no trouble in the world. Okay? And he knows full well it's not true. But he's only selling Western Bliss Pure Land here. All right? Western Bliss Pure Land is a land where if suffering is too much for you and you can't handle suffering, you definitely want to go to Western Bliss Pure Land at the end of this life. Especially, maybe not for you because you're tough and you want to come back and or go somewhere where you're going to receive further training. But what about the people who can't handle the suffering? Like your parents, like your children. And then those people that you really care for, there's a way out for them. Because if they're not careful, they keep on cycling through this wheel reincarnation where their suffering only increase, will never decrease. Okay. And that's the next topic, isn't it? Are we at slide 18?
We start on 19.
19. So where do you go to find Western Bliss Pure Land? You see, he's channeling you. He's corralling you to go towards the Western Bliss Pure Land. Let's see what he has to say.
没有麻烦，就是极乐世界了。就是在这个世界上，什么麻烦也没有，没有问题了。
Without trouble, that is the Western Bliss Pure Land. That is here in this world. There is no trouble at all. No problem, no more problems.
You see, this is where our styles differ a little bit. He presents it as, would be a great thing if we could have no troublemakers at all. And to me, that's inaccurate. Okay, for a person like me, I want you to face the facts and stop your wishful thinking. What makes you wise is that you dare look at how weak you are when you're faced with trouble, and what you do when you don't get what you want. Do you stab people in the back? Do you do stupid things to get what you want? If you like that, then you're asking for trouble. You're only creating suffering for yourself, guaranteed. When you do, in particular, if you do under my roof, I will multiply your suffering you're supposed to endure 10 times. And they'll mature very quickly, I assure you. But it doesn't matter what I say, there's always some individuals who are like this, the pure evil. Okay? And so my style is that we need to be factual. There's no need to mislead you. You don't need to give you false promises. So this is different in style. He's not. He knows. I know that he's not confused about this. But the way he approaches it, I beg to differ a little bit. I'd rather tell you the facts and then teach you how to face the facts better. That's what you're supposed to learn here in the Saha world instead of doing your wishful thinking and indulging in salesmanship like a politician, like a cheap Dharma master. Okay? There's no such a thing. This is not a Western bliss Pure Land. Okay? This is a Saha world, the Saha impure world. Okay? In this world, there is troubles everywhere, especially in Dharma ending age. There's problems that you cannot handle. And that's the nature of Saha world. Ordinary people, I do not want to indulge them to continue to ignore it. You always wait, you ignore your problems, your health, your physical, mental health, right there until it's too late. And then you abuse your body to make money and to pursue the things you want. And when you get older, you realize you have cancer and you have to cut out your body. The doctor has to remove your body. And as recently as, very recently, is happening to the people I know. And it's a lot of suffering, folks. It's because ordinary people choose to ignore their well-being. They are too crazy about making money, seeking fame and profit. In the end, they need to go see a doctor who cuts it out, who shaves off your bodies. That's what they have to do. And that's really, really the nature of our existence. When are we going to wake up? Every moment, every single half hour you meditate, you're restoring your physical and mental health. How come we never taught this fundamental part of life? If we don't take care of our physical and mental health, who will? It's so fundamental to existence. And yet, no one knows. No one teaches it. You know, if you're a teacher, if you are a professor, and you're a doctor, you're a dentist, and so forth, I can see why you don't want people to not to know. Because to your benefit, that you need to have patience. This is where we, spiritual people, need to come in and remind people and ring the alarm bell and says, please, just take care of our fundamentals, let's take care of our body and take care of our mind. That includes doctors and lawyers and dentists and nurses and everyone as well. Because doctors too, at the end of their careers, they're depressed and they're sick as well. I saw a piece some time ago, maybe a couple of years ago, of this Pakistani doctor in the UK, and he's considered one of the best in the world to help with, I forgot, some kind of very difficult cancer. He's so good at it that he eventually split from his hospital and got so much support because his fame and his skill set, which is unrivaled, that he built his own hospital and so that he would help people. The guy has a big, big heart, you know. He have enough funding, have enough support that some of his patients, he would not charge them anything, even help the family stay near the hospital for free so that he can help them. What a great guy, you know. And I look at him and say, wow, you have the heart of a bodhisattva. And not surprisingly, I found out towards the end of the piece that he's dying of cancer, incurable cancer. Because that's what happens. Doctors too, you don't take care of yourself, you die sooner, that's all. It's hopeless for him. No one can help him. He's just waiting to die. That's it. So that happens to the best of us. Okay? Yes, go Forrest.
师父阿弥陀佛，我有一个问题，如果当有人在背后讨论其他人的事情的时候，怎么去判断这个事情是在分享经验，还是在八卦别人的是非？谢谢师父。
Emitofuo Master, I have a question. If someone is discussing others' matters behind their back, how can we tell it's gossip or actually discussing the matters?
It's not discussing the matters. 嚼舌 something. What is that expression again?
Yeah. So
what is the Chinese expression? Remind me. Chewing your tongue.
Yeah.
What is that? Say it.
嚼舌根.
嚼舌根. 嚼舌根 is a Chinese expression. I love it. I just learned it recently. 嚼舌根. 嚼 is to chew. 舌根 is your tongue. It says that when you gossip or especially slander and stab people in the back intentionally, you are 嚼舌根. You're chewing your own tongue, that's all you're doing. It's so beautiful. The Chinese is a language of wisdom, folks. I love it. I say, wow, there's no equivalent expression in English because we don't have this kind of wisdom in English. Agree, South Carolina? Huh? I mean, the Carolinas in that southern part of the country here, they have a lot of time to think things through. They, you know, in the South, people sit in front of the house, and you drive by, you see the same woman sitting in front of the house 4 hours later. She probably is doing the southern style of meditation. No full lotus, just sat there, looking at cars going by. Okay? And so they have a lot of time to think about things. And maybe that's where we hope there's that wisdom will develop down south. I hope that our friend here from South Carolina will develop wisdom and go back to the south and help, and become a guru. And say, I'm Chan Guru, I'm wisdom guru. Let me show you how to do it. When you sit there and look at cars, this is what you do. Jiao She Gen is that it's an expression that says you're chewing your own tongue. It's referring to the people who are bad-mouthing others, especially behind the back. All they're doing is chewing their own tongue. They really are harming themselves more than the words they utter. Isn't that interesting? I love it. I learned so much from the Chinese. When I make fun of the Chinese, it's only because of insecurity and a complex of superiority from my part. But the Chinese culture is so profound. It's confusion-based culture. Okay, that's why they have all these concepts. It's so fascinating. There's no such equivalent expression in English, is there? Chewing your own tongue when you gossip? They don't say gossip over there. They say, 嚼舌根. And by the way, it's also a condemnation of such people who gossip and stab people in the back. Okay? And the question is, well, how do you know whether it's constructive or destructive? You don't. You don't know. And it's perfectly okay to be fooled, to misunderstand and act accordingly. But, you're all very smart. You're all developing your own wisdom at your own pace. Eventually, you see. Yes, you should have no fear. You listen to people, okay, and you should not be afraid that you fall for these things. And eventually, you fall for these gossips and these slanderous comments, trying to harm others and stab people in the back. I'm telling you, we have such people here at the temple. Okay? And it's normal. You will find them everywhere. There's such lowlifes everywhere in the Saha world, at work, at the temple. Everywhere you go, there will always be such people. Okay? And don't be afraid. Yes, they have some skills. Some of them are stronger than you, and therefore they sound a lot more persuasive than you, and so forth. Some of them have been around for longer than you, and therefore you should listen to them. And some of their advices are good, some are not so good. And that's part of your learning experience. It's a test of where your value system really, really mean to you. Will you compromise? Don't ask for perfection. We cannot. It's not possible for me to guarantee you there's only good people around. As I told you, I want bad people around because these bad people help me motivate my do-gooders to improve faster. And that's the case. Just my personal things, my personal experience as well. I was thoroughly abused at my master's temples. And I never complained, by the way. Never, ever, ever. Okay? I simply told myself, I will be so strong that you can no longer harm me. I'll be so strong, your slander can never hurt me. I'll be so strong that you're just a baby swinging your arms at me and you can't hurt me at all. I'm doing the same thing with you. Don't be afraid of such people. Okay? I spot them. And I tolerate them. I always worry when some of them turn from evil to good, and I say, where's the evil people in my community? How am I going to motivate others, the rest of my community, to rise above these low lives? Huh? So it's okay to be fool. It's okay to make the mistakes and to listen to them and believe them. But you know what? Eventually you catch on. Eventually you understand. Okay? Yeah. And that's life. Please don't worry about it. Okay? Act upon it. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes too. It's perfectly okay. Okay? Yes. There's people who gossip and people who stab others in the back in my temples. Yes. And eventually you will spot them. Eventually you recognize them. Okay? And they're stronger than you. And that should help motivate you to be stronger than them. How's that? Have no fear. We all make mistakes. There's no such a thing as doing the right things all the time. Not here in the Saha world. Even here, my idol, Master YongHua, I've been telling you, I learned a lot from him. I also disagree with him in his styles of teaching. Even though he's a better teacher than I am, okay? Because of the results he produced, that's a fact, okay? But the things that could be improved, okay? He's no Buddha yet. Did I answer the question? Okay? Yeah. Feel free to follow up and feel free to chime in if you like. So, have no fear. Embrace it. There are stupid people, there are losers, and there are evil people around, okay? Embrace them. We'll be fooled temporarily, and they will manipulate us temporarily, but they're only chewing their own tongue. They're only harming themselves. It's okay. Have no fear. Okay? Yeah. So, the answer again is you'll be fooled. Okay? And you recover. And you learn. That's all. Because if you always go towards the good and become gooder, that's all that matters. If temporarily you fooled and you make a mistake, that's only temporary because your direction is towards the goodness. And if they choose to go towards the evil, it's their problems. We don't worry about it. They're losers. There must be losers in the Saha world so that we are winners. You can't all be winners. That's not possible in the Saha world. The winners must be counterbalanced by losers in the Saha world. So as I said, there's more losers in numbers than winners. Therefore, the winners must be stronger and better. Which group would you like to belong? Okay, YouTube.
광호님의 질문입니다. 어떤 사람들은 습관적으로 남의 뒷얘기를 하고 험담을 합니다. 이런 습관은 디프레션 혹은 매닉 기운의 공격은 아닌지요? 또한 이런 습관을 고치기 위한 방법으로는 무엇이 있을까요?
Hello, this is question from YongHua. Some people do have a habit of gossiping on others. Is it because they have a depression or manic? And is there any method to cure this habitual energy?
Why do you want to cure it? Is there a problem? Did they ask you to help them cure it? Fundamentally, mind your business. You don't need to cure it. Just embrace them. That's Mahayana. Mahayana, we embrace it. We accept it, we endure it, and we rise above it. We don't need to cure it. Why not? They never asked. They're perfectly happy being evil, being backstabber, being losers, being lowlives. Let them. We don't care. Every time they do something that evil, they lose a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. See this? They're sinking. When what do you care? It's their lives. They didn't ask you to help. There's some of them are very, very evil. They don't care for your help. Be careful. First of all, fundamentally, did they ask you for help? You're not a doctor. You're not a shrink. You're not a therapist. Who asked you to help them? They're perfectly being happy, very happy, being their own selves, being their evil, chewing their own tongue. That's their lives. Respect them. Be respectful of that. It's their lives. You have to respect it. Even if they ask for help, don't believe it. Yes, that's a second group where the people that are there, they pretend they're really not who they are. And that's very healthy for the community. Okay? There's no need to help. I know you want to help, but some people cannot be helped. Number two, you have not enough virtues for them to believe you, like my own master. He had so few people. Who really believe him. Okay, continue.
不要没有问题，再要想找出个问题来，那就是没有麻烦，又找出麻烦来。
What?
Do not, when there are no problems, think of a way to find a problem. That is finding trouble again when there is no trouble.
如果你又有麻烦了，找出来麻烦了，那又怎么办呢？
If you run into trouble again, have found trouble, what do you do then?
不要忧愁，一定有办法。我再给你找个办法。
Do not worry, there's definitely a way. I'll find another way for you.
哎，什么办法呢？这个办法你也知道，不过你就不会用，到时候。
What way? This way. You also know it, but you just won't know how to use it when the time comes.
哦，我再向你说一遍而已，就是念南无观世音菩萨。
Another one.
Oh, let me just tell you one more time. Just recite Nama Guanxin Pusat.
Okay, we stop here and let's go back. Good Lord. Okay, where were we? 18? 19? 19. Yeah. No more problems. Okay, there's no such a thing here. Grow up. We are here in the Saha world because you're here to learn how to handle problems. The more problems that come at you ferociously, furiously, okay, so that you're overwhelmed. Whereas in the Western Bliss Pure Land, the problem comes to you very gently, so that you don't have to juggle too many problems. Here in the Saha world, the problems are so overwhelming. That's a difference in degrees. Okay? 1 to 100,000 difference in factors. If you have one problem in Western Bliss Pure Land, here you have 100,000 more. And that's why you grow a lot faster here, if you do it right. Okay? When there's no problems, think of a way to find a problem. You don't need to think of a way to find problems. Problems have a way to find you. If you look careful around you, you look carefully enough around you, there's plenty of problems coming at you furiously, ferociously. You don't need to think of a way to find the problems. I don't know what he's talking about. Yes, K YouTube.
질문드립니다. 저는 올해 2월에 선 명상을 알게 되어 3월부터 거의 매일 하루에 1시간 이상씩 선 명상을 하고 있습니다. 이런 최고의 수행 방법을 가르쳐 주신 마스터께 항상 감사드립니다. 저는 2가지 질문을 드리고 싶습니다. 첫째는 마스터의 예전 법문을 들으면서 생긴 의문인데, 돌아가신 분을 위해 기도를 하면 그분의 업에 관여해서 조심해야 한다고 하신 것으로 들었습니다. 그렇다면 제 주위에 힘들게 사시는 분들이 아프지 않고 오래 사시기를 기도하는 것, 또한 그들의 업에 관여해서 저한테 안 좋게 되는 것인지 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 입근님의 질문이었습니다.
This is a question from Ipkun Ruchin. I have a question, Master. I began to practice chant meditation this year, February. Maybe she or he is referring to last year.
Mm-hmm.
And starting from March, I meditated at least 1 hour a day. And I'm always very grateful for Master to teaching us the best way to cultivate. I have 2 questions. First one is, I was listening to your prior Dharma talks, and I have a question. When we pray for the deceased, you said we need to be cautious about meddling to their karmas. And so if I pray for the people who lives very harshfully, and like if they're very sick, if I pray for them to live longer, is it meddling with their karmas, and would it affect me badly?
Yes. Question number 1, answer is yes. When you are praying for others to help them, you are meddling. This is too soon for you to do that. Too soon for you to try to help others, because it's you asking for trouble. Your own selves, you have a lot of problems, a lot of obstructions already. And when you help others, their obstructions comes to you, and it's much harder for you to see the nature of those obstructions. This is why, until you are strong enough, you have real wisdom, you have some real skills, we tell you, we advise you, we implore you to not help others. Okay? Just meditate an hour a day and look at your own issues, your own afflictions. That's is much more important, okay? Because for what you can do right now for others is so limited. And all it does is it hinders your spiritual growth. This is why mind your business right now until you're given the green light to help others. In the future, when you're ready, you have plenty of chances to help others in a good way, really help them. Because right now, all you're doing like scratching their itch. You're really not doing anything important yet, okay? Because your skill is still too primitive. You can't really help at all, okay? Question number 2.
그리고 두 번째 질문은 얼마 전 42수안을 전수받은 후 거의 매일 선명상을 하면서 42수안을 수행하고 있습니다. 그리고 며칠 전 낮에 안 좋은 사건이 있었고 그로 인해 약간의 분노가 남아있는 상태에서 결과보자 후 42수안을 했는데 42수안을 하면서 계속 그 상대방이 떠오르며 기분이 안 좋은데 혹시라도 그런 상태에서 42수안을 할 경우 상대방이나 저한테 안 좋은 것인지 여쭤보고 싶습니다. 항상 가르침에 감사드립니다.
My second question is, a while ago, not very long, I've been transmitted 42 hands and eye. So every day when I do chant, I practice 42 hands and eye together after the chant. And few days ago, in the daytime, I had some bad incidents. So because of that, I still had some anger left. And when I was doing full lotus, after that I did 42 hands and eye. And during 42 hands and eye, I keep thinking about that certain person. And I feel bad. And I want to ask if I practice 42 hands and eye in that status, will it affect me or that person in a bad way? Thank you for your teaching.
It's best that when you practice meditation, chant, or the tantras there, the 42 hands and eyes, what you need to do is very, very simple. When you meditate or when you recite the mantras and the true words, you don't want to be afflicted. So all you have to do is say, although you're very afflicted, let's say you're very angry, you're very disappointed, you said, yeah, I have reason to be angry, I have reason to be disappointed, okay? However, not now. You put it aside, not now. You ignore it for now. Don't add more to your anger. Don't add more to your affliction. Instead, you don't allow your affliction to grow. If possible, you ignore it. That's how you deal with it. That's all. All right? Then someday you understand why you want to do it. KU2.
맹성희님의 코멘트입니다. 감사합니다, 마스터. 저는 1년 반 전에 계속되는 원인모를 설사로 몸무게가 13kg가 빠져서 많이 힘들고 아팠습니다. 병원과 약을 아무리 써도 낫지 않았는데 보라선언에 와서 기도하고 약사 위패를 올리고 얼마 지나지 않아 지금은 설사가 멈추었고 몸무게도 많이 늘고 건강해졌습니다. 감사함을 공유하고 싶어 글을 올립니다. 항상 위양종 승가에 감사드립니다.
This is a comment from Meng Song-hee. Thank you, Master. 1 year and a half ago, I had a continuous diarrhea. I didn't know the reason. And because of the diarrhea, I lost 13 kilograms. And I was very sick and I had a really hard time. Even though I went to a lot of hospital and take a lot of drugs, it didn't get well. But after coming to JC, I prayed and I did a Medicine Master Buddha plaque and not long after, now the diarrhea stopped, and I gained the weight, and I'm a lot healthier. So I wanted to share this gratefulness. I always I always think to Weiyang Order Sangha. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us. So the people at JC are actually doing some good. I thought it is eat and sleep, and that's all, and argue with each other. It turns out every now and then I do some good. Thank you, people. Okay, keep fighting, keep arguing. You go in the right direction. We appreciate your feedback. All right. That's what happens. Sometimes people come to us because, as a last resort, because they could not find help elsewhere. And for this person here to get some results so quickly is because she has prior conditions with us. Okay, just like the comment earlier from Go Force, how do you know that it's gossip versus it's something helpful or truthful? You don't. It doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. Listen and embrace it, and embrace your own mistakes. We all make mistakes, okay? But it's never intentional. We don't intentionally harm others. We don't want to gossip. So if the people around you are gossiping and it's harmless, yeah, gossip, shoot the breeze. But when it goes into hurting others and making others look bad, this is when you can walk away. That's all you do, okay? You know that. We don't want to say bad things behind others' backs. That's, never mind about cultivation. That's kind of low. You have a problem with me, come to me and yell at me and scream at me and beat me up. I don't have a problem with it. You don't need to stab me in the back. Only the lowlifes and the weak would resort to that, to slander and to stabbing others in the back. And I hope you'll never do that, because I was a victim of that for 4.5 years at my master's temples, and they pursued me for many, many years. And actually, it motivated me to say, I will be so much better than any of you that none of you can do anything to me. So I use the adversity to work harder. So do not be afraid, okay? That people abuse you and people fool you. It's part of your learning. It's okay. Embrace your own mistakes. Embrace theirs. So eventually you look at them and say, oh, you're just an idiot. You're just a lowlife. You listen, but you really don't listen. You use your samadhi power. Huh? The ear hears the words, hears the sound, but inside the mind doesn't know. We have antidotes. Okay? Don't be afraid. I'm very glad the question was asked, because yes, there's a part of it that says, part of it is judgmental. You are supposed to be a cultivator. We are supposed to be cultivators here. And yet, what are you doing? Chewing your own tongue. It's their business. Don't judge them. Just don't indulge. That's all. Okay? If they're stupid, they'll pay. Okay, and then Master YongHua says, but you want to have no trouble, you find trouble. You see, there's a contradiction here. In the Saha world, you always find trouble wherever you look. Okay, and that's why what we do, we teach you, don't worry about trouble. You look at yourself, worry about the afflictions that arise when you face trouble. Okay? Instead of my saying that I'm going to beat you up, because I was abused and treated very badly, unfairly and everything, instead of doing that, okay, that's trouble. You rise above it. You don't allow it to afflict you anymore by unfolding your wisdom, by becoming stronger so that when they hit you, it does no harm to you. Okay? Yes, sir, 7.
Was Master Shinhwa talking about meditation and entering samadhi in this teaching? Because does trouble mean a thought or affliction? Like the thought is trouble.
The trouble is that you are afflicted. You don't like it. Okay? And you can't handle it. What he's saying is that at time, here in slide 21, that at times you've run to trouble again, meaning that you can't handle it. So what do? Okay? So that's what he says next. He says, there's a way. Okay? I have a way for you. In Buddhism, we have a lot of antidotes. We have a lot of countermeasures. This is why it's called the Saha world. Because Saha worlds, we develop a lot of countermeasures against the evil and the low lives. And they just don't know that we have them. Because we want to let them be themselves. We're not afraid. Okay? I don't want you. What I want you to learn is embrace it. There's no need to judge them. They are who they are. Just don't be like them, that's all. If you don't approve of them, become better. So that they don't affect you anymore. They can't affect you anymore. Okay? And he is also here. That's my first lesson to you. Okay? Look at your affliction. Yes, as I spell it out for a go-forest person, you're afraid to be full. You're offended by it. Okay? Look at that and stop it. Stop that fear of being full. Stop being offended. Embrace them. That's the first lesson. And Master Shinhwa give them another lesson here. At times, when you can't handle it, when it's too much for you, there's help available. Do you believe? You believe him? Yes, there's help available. Woof! To you too. Okay. Yes. Okay. You see, he has his Chinese way of explaining this, but I know what he's talking about. This only uses, okay, even the old monk, the old abbot, wherever he is right now, the old abbot talks about this as well because he's a Wan Yin boy as well. I don't happen to be a Wan Yin boy. I like Wan Yin, I love Wan Yin, I adore Wan Yin. Okay, but I sparingly ask Wan Yin for help. Okay, I don't want you to every time you have you afflicted, say, Wan Yin, help me. Cut it out. Don't be such a cry baby. Don't be afraid. Look at your affliction and say, why am I so afflicted? Okay? That's much more important in your training, they're not being afflicted at all. Ask yourself, why is it I'm so afflicted? Why do I choose to be like this? Because you're afflicted because you choose to be afflicted. Do you know that? Cut it out. Extinguish your choice of being afflicted. So use them losers to get... Yes, I used to be very offended, by the way, because I was weaker than them. So every time it hurts, I say, what the hell? You are supposed to be virtuous ones. And this is what you do to me? The whole lot of you? I was very afflicted. But I couldn't do anything. It's 24 hours. They have stronger, they have more money, they have more credibility. I'm by myself. No one believed me. Who cares how I feel? Who cares it's right or wrong? You endure it. But the bottom line is I had no choice. I was afflicted, had no choice. Either quit, run away, and always be hurt the rest of your life, or ask yourself, what the heck happened? Why am I so afflicted? That's the most important thing you can do for yourself. And if doesn't go away, it's too overwhelming, okay, they're so strong, much stronger than you, then you ask Wan Yin for help. Let me tell you, I never asked. For 11 years, I suffered and suffered every day. Never asked. It's wrong, it's unfair. I never asked. But if you're weak and you can't handle it, help is available. You can ask him, ask her for help. I don't blame people either. I said, my troubles is from you because it's your disciples. You're supposed to rein them in. I did not even blame my teacher. Took it. Never asked for help. Same to you. Okay? I'm fearless. Okay? On the other hand, okay? At times, when it's too much and you can't handle it, you can ask for help. And you know what? At those times, it's very good chances that Wan Yin will help you. But don't abuse it. Don't be like the old monk. Wan Yin help me, Wan Yin help me. Come on, are you a man or a wimp? Huh? Endure until you can't take it anymore. That's when he said, hey, Wan Yin, I can't take this pain anymore. Please help. Because I'm at the end of my rope. Please help. It's available, trust me. But I don't want you to ask for help every single time you are in trouble. Endure, and more, until you totally are exhausted, have nothing left to fight with. Then, ask for help. If Wan Yin doesn't help, I will help you. But don't ask me before, because I will ignore you. You're a baby. I don't cry. I don't help cry babies. I kiss cry babies. I don't help cry babies. Like a good politician, I kiss baby. I don't help them. Yes, 7.
It's from Diego Alfonso from Spanish YouTube.
Yes.
When we are meditating, during that moment, can we visualize things or situations that later will manifest and you realize it was because of your meditation? Is this a product of the meditation?
For example. Okay? Namo Wan Chi Yin Pusa. See, he's also Wan Yin boy. It's not just one yin Pusa. There's also great strength Pusa. There's also Ru Wang Pusa, sunlight Bodhisattva. It's also moonlight Bodhisattva. You call up any of those 4 names, they'll come and help. It's also Manjushri Bodhisattva. It's also University World Bodhisattva. You know why? Because we are practicing their dharmas. They will help. We have conditions with them. Trust me, they are willing to help. So have no fear. Don't abuse it. Be careful. Universal worthy Bodhisattva, because that's the Dharma we use to become a Buddha, become enlightened. Manjushri Bodhisattva, because he's in charge of helping us to develop our prajna wisdom. That's the only thing he wants to do, is to help us develop our prajna wisdom. And you know why? What it takes to do that? Huh? To be more virtuous. That's why he calls himself Manjushri. He has the highest wisdom among the Bodhisattvas because he's the most virtuous amongst the Bodhisattva. You didn't know that, did you? Okay, so you have these 4 assistants from the Buddhas. Medicine Master Buddha has 2 assistants, sunlight Bodhisattva, moonlight Bodhisattva. They all do the things. Amitabha Buddha has 2 assistants, one yin Bodhisattva and great strength Bodhisattva. And Shakyamuni Buddha has 2 assistants, okay? Universal worthy and Manjushri. This is not to mention Ersto Bodhisattva as well. Okay, we have affinities with all of those Bodhisattvas and all those 3 Buddhas. And he's only teaching you one Chiyin Bodhisattva. Trust me, you can choose any of them and ask at that time. Yes, 9.
Master, so what do we, so like what you're talking to us about right now reminds me at work when I get offended by certain people. And so I reflect on why am I offended, but then how do I interact with them? Because with other people, I can be nice to them, I can, whatever, I can be normal with them. But with these other people, like, I'm mad at them. So, like, I just try to cut small talk and just be courteous with them.
You need to be civil. You need to be professional. That's all. Do your jobs. And do not show your affliction, because that's not professional. Does it help?
It does help, but I feel like the reason, like my situation specific is I would joke with these people, but I joke with other people because that's the environment at work and it's respectful, but they use the joking environment to throw jabs at me and they hurt my feelings, but because they're doing it maliciously. So now I can't joke with them because they're going to keep doing the same thing to me.
Then don't joke with them. You don't have to. It's not part of the professional civility. You don't have to joke with them. Yes, there's some people who believe they're smarter than you, and their objective professionally is to show everyone that they're smarter than you. So they do things to embarrass you. It's no different from stabbing people in the back. It's just that here they're stabbing you in front of you. The same crap, that's all. Doesn't matter. You endure it, that's all. If you are the victim, endure it. Okay? Be professional about it. Don't show your affliction. That's all you do. That's how you deal with it, because if you become afflicted, then they've succeeded. Their jokes, the put downs of you professionally, if it doesn't bother you, that's all that matters. Yes, they may know more than you, they may have a better command of the English language than you, okay, because you don't look like you have a good command of English language as compared to many pale-faced people. Oh, he's disagreeing. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, you learn to be professional and be unruffled. That's what you learn to do. Okay, and of course, some of them are much smarter than you, they're much better than you, so be it. The objective is not to get afflicted. You accept it, that's all. But be professional, because that's what the bosses observe. They know, as a boss, we know that this person is better than that person in certain things. This person is better than that person in other things. We have an idea of who's capable of what. You don't have to worry about it. If we're not good enough, we'll be replaced ourselves. It's beyond your control. Just do your jobs. Be professional about it. That's all. You don't need to win the verbal fight. You don't have to. They're better than us, so be it. Endure it and don't get afflicted. That's all. Be professional, that's all. That's part of the job requirements, by the way. Some others, unlike you, they react by becoming worse than the offender. They become more arrogant, they become louder, and they command fear because they're stronger technically and they're good at their jobs. And to me, it's not necessary, it's uncool. You should be always humble. Trust me, the bosses know. If not, they're not supposed to be your boss. You don't need people to fear you at your jobs at all. You don't need people to recognize you the best. Only the bosses needs to know, that's it. No one else. Who cares? They can affect your promotion. They can affect your raises. The bosses is the main thing. So act professionally. Don't have to be arrogant. Don't have to walk around and proving to everyone that you're smarter than your peers. Only losers do that. Yes, K YouTube.
주미님의 질문입니다. 제가 예전부터 질문드리고 싶었던 부분인데요. 각 부처님이 계시고 협시 보살님들이 계시는데 이 팀은 어떻게 꾸려지는 건가요? 부처님과 협시 보살님들과의 인연인가요? 아니면 원력이 같아서인가요?
This is the question from Jumi. I always wanted to ask you this question. We have all the Buddhas here, and the Buddhas have a supporting bodhisattvas. And I want to know, how is this team organized? Is it because of the condition between the Buddhas and the bodhisattvas? Or is it because they have a same vow power?
I don't know. It's way beyond me. It's my boss's arena, domain. I would not be able to help you there. Sorry. 7.
Question from YouTube, from Daniel 7, Emitofuo Master. Are some people more prone to absorbing other people's negative energy than others?
It doesn't matter what some people are more prone or not. It's about you. Don't get afflicted. Use all these experiences to look at your affliction. And if you're afflicted, do something to remove the affliction. That's all that matters. In the end, if you're afflicted, you lose. Don't worry about them. If they have a sharper tongue than you, they're smarter than you, they're better educated than you, better looking than you, and better and everything, so be it. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about others. Because the objective is to open your wisdom. They may be better than you. They may be taller than you. They may be, they may have better skin than you. Okay? They may be better, whatever it is. Okay? It doesn't matter. The bottom line is that you worry about your affliction, you worry about your wisdom, then you see you become a superior person. That's the bottom line. The one who develops high wisdom wins. Don't worry about them. It's okay in the end. In the end. I once went to a master's temple and they attacked my bodyguard, and it frightened the wits out of this bodyguard of mine. But I didn't feel anything, so I jokingly set up right there a boxing ring. I said, "Come. Why don't all you come so I can beat you up all at once? So that I don't waste my time dealing with you anymore." That's the bottom line. Huh? Can you defend yourself? Who cares if they have a smarter tongue than you? The bottom line is like in martial arts, like Jung, right? Ultimately, I'm going to kill you. Can you defend yourself? You dare come to the ring with me? I'll kill you. Never dare bother me again. What? Just when okay, it's not meant to be heard. See, in martial arts, Jung will confirm it for you. The people who have this beautiful form, have all these beautiful demonstration skills, but they would never get into a fight because that's what martial arts masters do. They go from dojo to dojo, okay? And they ask politely, say, "I would request a match with you." Okay? So in Japan, they would give you, if you're a samurai, give you a wooden sword, and if you're not careful, the wooden sword could also kill you as well. They split your crow. Is that, what's that? The crow, right? Yeah, the crow. They hit you, it's split in half. Okay? But the point here is that in martial arts, there are people there, I know one at least, who goes around. He said, my disciple, I taught him, because he has with this Chinese thing, private Chinese thing where that's the technique they use to train their top masters. It's a family kind of tradition where they have the training techniques. And this guy is not the family, but he's trusted to receive the special training to transmit to the son when he's old enough so that he can train and become the top master of that tradition. And so he received his disciples himself, and he taught them various things, and they came back and said, I try your teachings, and I'm improving, and I go around. One day I went to a dojo, and this master used his techniques against me. I don't know how to counter it. So he said, oh, that's easy. Let me teach you how to do it. Okay? And so those are friendly things. But when you go into a challenge like that, they can kill you. They can really hurt you. And they can really turn you into a handicapped person. Okay? That's the real deal of martial arts. Can you defend yourself? When it comes down to life and death, it's all that matters. And that's what a manager or an executive looks at. They don't worry about the verbal things or that doesn't do much for them. They have other criteria, so you don't have to worry about having a sharper tongue or can outsmart them in these verbal games. Okay? Doesn't matter, ultimately. Okay, last question for the evening, JMT.
네, 마스터. 아까 관세음보살님께 도움을 구하지 말라고 말씀을 하셨는데 저는 몸이 아플 때 약사열의 부처님 명호를 부르며 아프지 않게 해달라고 구하기도 합니다. 그럴 때는 구하지 않고 참아야 할까요?
Hello, Master. You just said that don't seek for help too much towards Guan Yin Bodhisattva, but when I'm sick physically, I ask for help to Medicine Master Buddha. When I recite Medicine Master Buddha's name, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
So when that happens, should I don't recite Medicine Master Buddha, just endure my physical pain?
You can always call Medicine Master Buddhas for help whenever you can't handle it. Okay? All I'm teaching you is try to endure more. Don't be like the old monk who says, I'm in trouble. Guan Yin, please help. Come on, man. When you're in trouble, endure it. Endure until you can't anymore. Then ask for help because they're there. That's why they're there. But don't bother them. Say, I want this. I want a car. Guan Yin, please help. I want a promotion. Guan Yin, please help. It's called Guan Yin abuse. I don't teach that. I teach you to endure until you pass out. I don't like to ask for help. I do ask for help. But not that often. Because every time I ask for help, I became ashamed and said, okay, next time this problem, I will ask for help. Or I ask for someone else. First I ask Guan Yin, and then I ask Straight Strength, then I ask Ersto Bodhisattva. I rotate so that they forget. Don't abuse Guan Yin, man. Okay, there's lots of people that we have affinities with. They're all willing to help. Okay? But eventually, as you understand more about the Dharma, you see that some people specialize in certain things. For example, I will not ask Wan Yin for help until I'm suffering so much that I know I can count on her compassion. I will not ask great strength for help unless I have this problem I cannot solve. It's way beyond me. His specialty is he's a fixer in a Western Blissfield land. When Amitabha Buddha cannot fix this problem, he sends in great strength because your strength is invincible. Okay? He shows his strength. That's quite great strength because none of your enemies are a match for him. Okay? And so forth. Yes, Evan.
From Sarah Wong, Emitofuo Master, when it comes with work, when do we endure and when do we leave and pursue another job? How can I make how to make wide decision for work-related choices?
I don't know. I'm a monk. I advise you on cultivation. I don't advise you on your career. Okay? I help some of my disciples with their career decisions, but I'm not a specialist. So please don't expect me to be able to help you there. Okay? If you, in general, I look for a boss because my rationale is very simple. I look for a boss who has a good heart, okay, who has potential. What his training, what his education, what his strength, where is he going? Because in professionally, it's the boss that pulls you up. Okay, so I always look for a good boss, a mentor, if you will, who will pull me up and pull me up and pull me up and pull me up. Not all of us are able to do that, but that's what I do. Okay, and then the next thing is that personally, it has to make sense to me. Does a job, does my boss, do they go against my value systems? Unfortunately for me, my bosses have no scruples. Okay? It didn't matter, I tried this boss and that boss and so forth. The more I look closely at them, the more I don't like them because they lack virtues, they have no scruples. I hate it. So it has to align, your work has to align with your values, I feel. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to look at myself in the mirror. Am I proud of myself? What have I done for the day? Have I contributed to make it a better place for my nephews, my nieces, other people's nephews and nieces and children? If I haven't, then I wasted my life. I would not like it. That's all. Okay? Good luck to you. Thank you, everyone. We stop here tonight.